Hello and welcome. I'm Renee Valentina, and this is Musing Interruptus. Musing Interruptus is a podcast for sharing thoughts and stories and enjoying idiomatic phrases. You can read along. The transcription is in the description of this episode. Click on Continue Reading to open a Google Doc with the complete transcription. The idiomatic expressions are in italics. Try to get the meaning from the context, and then look them up to see if you were right. If you like it, subscribe, follow, share. But more importantly, continue the conversation. Drop a comment with your answers to today's questions. I love hearing from you. The background music is by Blue Dot. Don't read. Read as little as possible. Try not to read at all. This is what I think is going through some of my college students' minds. According to INEGI 2024, the National Statistics and Geography Institute in Mexico, and the UNESCO, and other sources, Mexico has a literacy rate between 95 and 99%. In 1975, 25% of the population was unable to read. The subway system in Mexico City is a relic of this. Instead of writing the name of the station, you see a picture. This is great for people who cannot read and makes traveling around the city easier for tourists. The public transportation system in Mexico City is great. I love using it, except during peak hours. Back to literacy. INEGI 2023 reported that 68% of literate people aged 18 or more read something, mostly online, some books. The average of books read in Mexico is 3.4 a year. That is 2 decimals less than a few years ago. Let's remember, the country as a whole can read. This is a beacon of hope. However, as a professor of international affairs at the National Polytechnic Institute, I have noticed a reliance on the use of artificial intelligence to write papers. This is troubling, primarily because some of my students have been known to turn their papers in without reading the content or ensuring the activity is in line with the instructions. I have even had students who not once, not twice, but many more times have demanded a higher score for these activities, completely ignoring the content or objective of the academic exercise or my feedback. I've been subjected to diverse academic trials and forums in which students demand their work be revised and reevaluated, mostly by the non-readers. I do not evaluate arbitrarily, so their pleas become unfounded, and they have realized they need to take their time to read. Since I work online, there is little opportunity to know if they are actually doing the work. Based on the comments I've received post-course, I trust they do. I blame teachers. It's always their fault. They didn't teach the child to read properly in their ginormous classrooms. Students fall through the cracks all the time. Why bother to think we need more teachers, a different educational system, public funding, and God forbid, educated parents who educate? They are busy working all hours to put food on the table. Respect. My parents did, and so did theirs. That is what is expected of them. That's normal. If you speak out against normality, then you are a troublemaker. You must want to be poor or receive a payment for doing nothing. Evidently, enforcing labor laws makes you lazy or a communist. It's best not to know about those, or how much time your child really needs you, cognitively speaking. In the developing world, children need less and less of their parents, have you noticed? Whereas, in advanced economies, parents are not only expected to spend time with their children, the system is designed that way. It is a systemic issue that starts in the home, actually in the production system. It is perpetuated by a system that normalizes teachers giving in to ignorant loudmouths and the fear of retaliation and losing their livelihood, as meager as it may be. Teachers used to be respected and admired. They were given the space to learn and to teach. You're part of a system that doesn't need free thinkers. Don't get me started on some of the realities of the developing world. It is better not to think of it much. Those who do are troublemakers. They want to change things that are just fine the way they are, right? Why learn where institutions came from or why they were created? What's the point? The milestones have been indicated for you and everyone else. Your guess is as good as the next person's. This is a cry in the dark. After 13 years of working with higher education students who I know need the skills developed through reading, especially voraciously. Skills like critical thinking, not being pushed around, and living a decent and fulfilling life. You need philosophy, all the philosophies. Chemistry, physics, literature, the greats and the unknowns, mathematics, geology, biology. You need all of it. You need to know about God and Zarathustra, feminism, and slit theory. But don't read. Read as little as humanly possible. Don't read at all. Cast your fate to God or the gods. Who needs expiration dates when you have a digestive system that will let you know if food has gone bad? Close your eyes to the words recorded by scientists. Anyone whose voice is loud enough will do. If something is repeated enough times, it becomes true. Trust me. Scroll until you find the most straightforward answer to your ailment. Scroll until your mind is numb and you forget the work you've been instructed to do. Push papers from one place to the next. Remember to say yes, sir, and ma'am. Prompt your way through school. Find a job where you won't need to read or understand anything. Who needs words? Who needs to express dreams? You've got the weekend to look forward to and a six-pack to help you forget that your life is dedicated to making someone else's dreams come true. Don't dare to read something that might change your mind. It might change who you are or where you're going. That's scary. Stay here with me in the dark. Never mind the dark ages, the medieval times of witch burnings and a flat earth. Who needs rights when you have someone to tell you what to do and how long to work? How terrible to discover you might be unhappy and have to change something. After all, you can't have information and not use it. Stay here forever. I'll take care of you. Here where nobody asks questions because the answers are irrelevant and everybody is right all the time. Thank you for listening. What are your favorite books? How do you use your creativity in your day-to-day? How do you inspire children to read? How do you inspire others to rely on developing their intellect? I'm listening.